Yeah, I'll tell you, there were some big plays out there today on both sides of the football. I thought the offense came out and put up some nice long drives early on, and I was really encouraged to see that. Whether they got in a longer yardage situation, they responded and made those plays. And then the second half, more so when we got in the red zone, I thought the defense did a good job of keeping the offense out of the red zone, holding them to a field goal. When starting on the plus 25 going in, it's easy field position, great field position for the offense, but I saw some good things. I think a lot of guys did some things that really stood out today. I thought Zamor Ziegler ran the ball really well early on. We saw Bailey Gaithers on a nice reverse, have a nice long run, a big play down there. At the end of the scrimmage, Eugene Taylor had a big sack. When the offense, he really negated a play earlier when he had a personal foul, but I was encouraged by some of the things I saw. So, spring football to me is about improving the fundamentals of your team, finding out who your players are that you can count on in the fall, and then continuing to install the schemes and see how much your team can handle. And I think a lot of questions have been answered, and I really look forward to watching the film from today.
Coach, I know you had a point of emphasis to the defensive line. You wanted to improve their play, and from what we saw in the scrimmage, at least today, it seems like that was a step forward.
I think so. I really do. I think that I think now it's really a matter of developing our depth at that position, because as I told the team, next man up has got to apply, and we've got to really solidify ourselves in our depth on our defensive front seven in particular, but the front four. No team's ever gone through a season with just four guys, and I'm really encouraged with our starting four right now. But we need to continue to develop our younger players at that position. So in those long games, those no huddle offenses that get 80 snaps in a game, we need to be able to rotate and really not drop off. So all in all, I'm very encouraged with our defensive line.
Seems like that fourth defensive line, one of the DNs is in a standing position. Is that a different kind of scheme? Or,
well, it's still really a four-down scheme, but it's a stand-up position most of the time. It gives them the ability to drop off into coverage if we need to. He's also very comfortable in that position, so we've done it. But he still is down inside the tackle box, as we say, so he is a front four defensive lineman. And Isaiah's really done a good job this spring from that position, getting off on the ball and putting pressure on the quarterback. So all in all, really encouraged with Isaiah's play. Nick Aurelia has come on and played well, done a good job. Let's see, Bryce has really done a good job. Bryson Bridges at the nose guard position, very encouraged there. So all in all, Keenan Sykes, another guy who's really come on as the inside defensive tackle. So those four guys have had a really good, solid spring.
Your new coaches on defense seem to be pretty vocal from what I can tell.
Most definitely, yeah. Starting with Coach English, you can hear him anywhere in the stadium. You'll be able to hear him. He does an outstanding job. Will Harris, our secondary coach, really excited to have him. Brings a lot of energy to the team. Arnold Alay, who was an outstanding defense coordinator at junior college level. Really glad, fortunate to have Arnold up here. And then Barry Sachs, who's the second stint at San Jose State, really doing a good job with those defensive linemen.
Question about the special teams. Both kickers made all of their place kicking attempts, and it seems that the new units at the long snapper and holder are getting quite well.
When you consider what we have to replace, our long snapper, Ryan DeSalvo, Austin Lopez, and then the different holders that we've had over the years, all three are gone, and I think we really have, day one it didn't look like this, believe me, but I think this spring, the work as a unit, you get that feel for one another, you work together as a team. I think that the unit has come along and we've been pretty good. So leaving spring ball or on the back end of it, I feel good moving forward into the offseason about what we saw out of our kicking situation. And we know what Michael brings to the table from a punting standpoint, so it's a really good group.
I guess there may be a silver lining to some of the key offensive players being unavailable for this game. You get to see some of the depth charts, some of the players that are trying to jockey for position.
Definitely, yeah. I always have that belief, and maybe it's the glass is half full, but when players are down, Tago didn't go today, Kenny was limited, we limited him, Tucker was down, but you get to see the Zamor Zieglers, you get to see the Mark Amons compete with the first team, and that's great experience for them because we know it'll happen. No team's ever gone through a season without any injuries, so you need your other guys' groups to step up, and it was really a good opportunity for them.
Other part about having the scrimmage at this point, you still have a few more practices after it to tweak things if you need to and
Correct.
really get at the right spot.
Yes, I like to save one practice because you can come in after this last scrimmage and you can coach it up, watch the film, and work out the kinks from today's practice. So we will get one more in next week. But all in all, really encouraged. This is really our last physical practice, our last scrimmage, and knock on wood, but no injuries that will affect the season. You read about that every day in the papers around the country, and all in all, just really encouraged by the guys.
I think all in all, I think we executed as a group. Offensive line did well up front, running backs ran well, receivers got around the edge, ran good routes, and then the defense made plays too. So I think as a whole, I think we had a good year, or a good spring year.
You connected with Trey a few times there. Can you talk about your connection with him?
Yeah, he's very talented. He redshirted last year, so he wasn't really part of what's going on. He was in the scout group, so we didn't really get to see him. But once he got implemented into the offense, I think he's going to be very helpful this year. He's big body, very good body control, and he has really good hands. He runs good routes, so we're excited about what he's going to do this year.
Talk about some of the newer guys that we saw today, because no Billy Freeman, no Tyler Winston, no Justin Holmes, a lot of weapons you had to use that maybe you're newer.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's good for all these guys that maybe aren't necessarily the guys that have proven themselves yet. We have guys that throughout the year, we're going to have to use everybody. Everybody's going to need to be ready. So I think they got really some quality reps here this spring, and it's not a positive thing that our weapons are out like Tyler and Justin and Billy, but they're going to be back, and it's good for these guys to get kind of a push with these guys that are out to prove themselves and execute just with the flow of the offense. And I think it's going to be very helpful for our team going down the stretch of the season, because as everybody knows, you're going to need everybody going down the stretch. People get hurt, things happen. So we need everybody from the first team to the third team, and just go from there.
Did you have a personal goal this spring? Something to work on?
Just get better. Maybe just I don't know. It was making sure to lead by example, making sure everybody's on the same page. And I just wanted to get that chemistry going, because I felt like I know the offense pretty much in detail now. I could explain it to pretty much anyone, and I just wanted everything to go flowing easier, because last spring I was still learning the offense. This spring my goal was to kind of take everyone with me in a way, and get everybody on the same page chemistry-wise, and execute every day. That's really what we wanted to do, and go over film and talk to the guys personally. I wanted to talk to these guys and say what I was thinking at these plays. So pretty much just chemistry as a whole, and I think we've gotten that done.
Tyler Irvin was such a big part of this offense last year. Just what do you think of your young guys that are in the backfield with you so far?
They're awesome. I mean, Tyler, it's great that he's moved on and done better things. We'll never have another Tyler Irvin, but these guys are good in their own ways as well. Thomas Tucker has been hurt, and Red Bull, Malik Roberson, he's done great, and then even Zamora Ziegler bounced out and had a huge run today. So we have explosiveness. I think it's going to be running back by committee this year. I think it's good for us to have a few guys that could kind of switch it around, give a guy that could run downhill, and then Zamora who has the speed to get around the edge. So I think we have all the tools that we need to do, and everybody's just going to come together to replace the Tyler Irvin like that, and I think we'll be fine.
What's it been like just having year two with this, a lot of guys that are returning, and is there any significant changes with the offense, or is it mostly the same as what you've been working on last year?
We've put in some nuances as far as the offense is concerned, but as far as a flow that we're going with, I think since everybody knows the offense now and everybody's comfortable, we can play free flow, and you know what I mean, and last year was kind of everybody's thinking, everybody's doing this and that, but now this year everybody's kind of just going and just reacting and playing football like they usually do. Because sometimes when guys are thinking too much, you don't get to see their true self as far as the type of football player they are. So I think now that everybody knows the offense, we've kind of getting into a rhythm, and going into spring, now we're done. We're pretty much done with spring. Going into fall camp, I think we're going to have a very successful fall camp that's going to lead really good into the season.
I just wanted to get my assignments right, do my job. I feel like I did okay. We can always do better, but I think I had a good day. Looking forward to the season.
How about your connection with Kenny?
Me and Kenny, I met him last year when he came in. I met him. He's a funny dude. He's a character. So I mean, he's always motivating me, telling me what to do, and I look to him like just my assignments and stuff. So he's a really good quarterback. He can move. And usually you would think that receivers don't like a moving quarterback, but he makes a lot of plays, make a lot of broken plays. He makes stuff happen, so he's a good dude.
And now you're going into your second year of college. As far as what would you say to what was the biggest adjustment that you had to make from Milpitas to here?
I had to make a leap, man. It was the speed. Obviously, college, the speed. With Swerve last year, man, everybody knows that dude's fast, and a lot of players play to that speed. So, just in a league of Milpitas, sometimes the dudes you're guarding isn't as good as you, doesn't have offers like you. So, coming up to college, everyone obviously got that offer for a reason. So it was harder. I had to adjust to it. I didn't feel as confident my freshman year, but my teammates have just really helped me out. They really look out for me, and they tell me Trey, you're good. And sometimes I just man, I just shouldn't shake it off. But I mean, it's a great group of guys, and we stick together, and that's really it.
So what would your advice be to a lot of especially the signee that is just going to be coming in? What would your advice be to them?
My advice is just know you're a good player. They recruit you for a reason. Academics is important. It's very important. Don't sacrifice football for school, because that's another reason why we're here. So I just tell those guys to play confident, play fast, and get in your playbook, because a lot of my problem was I felt rejected, so I didn't really study my playbook. And so this year I really made an effort to really get in my playbook, understand my plays. I feel like I played a lot faster, make good decisions. Don't be like a couple of guys that came through here, but other than that, I feel like they'll be okay. But look to people around you, they'll help you.